Kayden is a very happy 2-year-old little boy. Right now, he's excited about trains. He loves trains and big machines and tractors and different stuff like that. He's very interested in those. But yes, trains are the #1 thing right now.
Chugga, 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 chugga. We first noticed that something was wrong with Kayden when we tried feeding him with a bottle and he lacked the skills of sucking, swallowing, and breathing at the same time. So that's when we began to explore feeding tubes.
Kayden was diagnosed with congenital Mersin deficient muscular dystrophy, which means the muscle that he has is what he's going to have for the rest of his life.
There have been some ups and downs financially. You know, we do not qualify for Medicaid or SSI or any outside assistance from the government. So we solely depend on my husband's insurance and not knowing what tomorrow holds.
There's a significant amount of health risk, and there's not a lot of children with that typically live past adolescence. I have a lot of sleepless nights thinking about when or how and all the things in your imagination that can happen. But sometimes I feel like Kayden's diagnosis is a dark room, and in that dark room there's one candle, and you know, that's Kayden's life. The hope I have is just to focus on that candle and know that there's amazing things that can happen and there's amazing things that will happen.
I actually found out about CRIT by driving by. They had their sign on the outside, and I noticed that it said that they help with rehabilitation for muscle diseases and disorders. Kayden was born in December, and our first appointment was in May.
CRIT is very visually appealing, and it's definitely very colorful. You can tell it's a facility that's built for kids. Kayden, when he goes, he knows which hall is which hall, where he can go play and where he can go swimming. And so the different therapies, it's been nice to all have them at one facility.
Kayden's chest protrudes out, so he has a very hard time breathing. It just puts a lot of pressure on him, and it's kind of painful. So it's just been a great joy to see the progress that he's had. Being able to develop those core muscles that he does need.
They've worked on just being able to tie the different muscle groups together. So previously he would only kind of have his arms by his side, where now he's able to reach out a little bit more. The struggle we have right now is just to allow him to gain functionality with that muscle, but also allow Kayden as much support as possible so he's not overworking.
We went from a child that couldn't move at all to a child that can now use a manual wheelchair. He wants to push himself, he doesn't want help. It allows him to have the freedom of a regular child, and he feels that independence. Over there's Kayden's room. That's gonna be Kayden's room. Yeah, and then Kayden's playroom's gonna be right here. Yeah, this is your new house.
A lot of the families we've met all have gone through different processes where they've had to get new vehicles, they've had to move, they've had to make certain changes and things to adapt to whatever diagnosis they may have. We wanted to be able to have a home that would allow Kayden to be able to move around. So we had the doors widened, some walls moved, all one floor, so he would be able to move around in his chair. We did get a ramp put at the front door, at the back door. We made sure that everything was as level as possible. CRIT absolutely had an influence on the house, even going in with our floor plan and saying this is what we're looking at, so they could give us thoughts and ideas about what some of his long-term needs would be. He likes it a lot. It's Kayden's house, and I get to live here, so it's good.
What's your name?
What kind of father we went?
There's just little moments in life, little nuggets that you get to pick from each day that just continue to make your life greater.
There it is. He's excited about things going on around him, and he sees the world so differently. You know, we tend to just look at the road, but he's seeing beautiful things, and so to remind you of the beauty that's around you, well, all of a sudden you look up and realize, oh wow, that is beautiful. It's been there the whole time.